It's time to continue our search for the best WWE wrestler of 2025. If you didn't see the first video, essentially what we are doing, we have a list of 130 wrestlers on a randomized wheel. You spin the wheel, you get a wrestler. We're doing a top 10 blind ranking. So we throw them where we think they're going to go on this list. Eventually, we do get upset because we make some mistakes and we have a wrestler who should be really high end up really low, like we did last video with Finn Balor at number 10, or maybe vice versa will happen in this video. Not sure yet. Let's see. Last video, we did put Finn Balor as number 1, the best wrestler of the 10. After we do the blind ranking, we go in and we adjust them a little bit. And Finn Balor, I moved from the number 10 position up to number 1. So he is going on to the finals, where we're going to have a total of 13 wrestlers, and we are going to determine who is the best wrestler in WWE today. In this video, the person who we ultimately decide is in our number 1 position is going to join Finn Balor in the finals when we are determining who is the best in WWE today. If you guys like the video, please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. That really does help a new channel like mine to grow. As we're going through, make sure you consider your own top 10 so that you can drop that in the comments after and let me know who you think is the best wrestler we're going to talk about today. But with all that being said, I am Isaiah from Hot Tag Wrestling. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and let's go ahead and get into it with our first wrestler. All right, let's see who we're going to start out with. First wrestler to be in our blind ranking. We are going to be looking at Brutus Creed. Interesting. Brutus, a tag guy, not as impressive in the ring, I think, as Julius is. But way more charismatic on the mic and backstage. A lot more character to Brutus Creed than there is to Julius. But we haven't really seen a lot of greatness out of him. I'm not as high on the Creed brothers as an act as most people are. I didn't love them as much in NXT. Don't really like what they're doing on the main roster. Feel like they're not being treated right. They don't have the right characters. So though I do feel like they have potential for greatness, they're not quite there yet. So I'm thinking Brutus is going to go at 8. Yeah, I'm going to put Brutus at 8 because I feel like in terms of talent, he's not at an 8, but in terms of how he's been booked and how he's represented on TV, an 8 is appropriate for the character. And, I haven't really seen him do great in the role to really push him higher than that. Grayson Waller. I'm not the biggest fan of Grayson. I feel like he has had more spurts of greatness than Brutus has. So I'm going to put him 1 higher at number 7. But he's always been a mid to lower card guy, even when he was in NXT. And he's fine in that role. He's really fun as this mid-card heel, but he's never really elevated above that. And he's just been in this sort of will they, won't they breakup story with Austin Theory for the past 5 years, it feels like. And that's really sort of denigrated him in the eyes of a lot of people, I think. So a little bit lower on the list for that. 7 is an appropriate spot for Grayson Waller, I think. And I've learned since the first video when I put Ivy Nile too high and regretted it later. So I feel like I'm being a little bit more reserved now. Lola Vice. I actually like Lola Vice. I would be more excited to watch a Lola Vice match than a Grayson Waller or Brutus Creed match. But is she as good? She's not really that great on the mic or in backstage segments. But then again, who in NXT is? Whenever she's in the ring, she has, the kickboxing style, which is fun, but I don't ever really think I've seen her have a great match. And that is because I think she is in NXT, and generally NXT does not produce greatness, especially nowadays. If she were on the main roster and she was sort of booked in a mid-card position, maybe a U.S. title run, I feel like I'd be higher on her. But for right now, she's got to go in at the number 9 position. I think she's probably got more talent than that, and in the coming years, once she gets to the main roster, she will impress. But for right now, you just don't have a whole lot from Lola Vice that you can really love. Javon Evans. I go back and forth with Javon because Javon has really, really great matches, but they're sort of not in my preferred style. A lot of his matches are, you know, predicated on the idea that look how talented this young guy is and look how much incredible stuff he can do. And in a world where a lot of people can do that, it sort of becomes a little bit dilapidated. Another big push is that he's so young, and people say, look how impressive it is that he's to this level when he's as young as he is. I don't necessarily subscribe to that idea necessarily. So I think he is really, really great. Um, but I think he is a little bit generic. And it feels kind of crazy to say that because they're doing a good job about presenting him as being this unique special talent. But I just don't necessarily feel that way for Javon Evans when there's so many high flying hybrid baby faces on the indies. He doesn't wow me like he does a lot of people. But I do still think he has really, really great matches, and he is presented really, really strong from NXT, where he's one of the only guys I can consistently say has been presented really, really well throughout his entire time in NXT. Even some of the people he's there with now who are top faces like Tony D, Trick Williams, Wesley, I feel like they've all had down points in their career that Javon just hasn't had. So I'm going to put Javon at number 4. I feel like consistently very, very good. Maybe not for me as much as most other people, but I feel like he's really got something. And if they can continue to present him correctly, he could be a big, big star. Thank God I don't have to talk about Logan Paul. I will have to talk about Logan Paul, and I'm just now realizing that, and I don't want to have to do that. But right now I'm going to talk Ludwig Kaiser. So underrated, so good. I love him so much. When he's one of those guys, and if there are any adult men watching this video, which I feel like that is my core audience, if you got a girlfriend or a wife who you watch wrestling with, there are some wrestlers who women who don't like wrestling naturally gravitate towards. Rhea Ripley is a big, big one in that. My wife loves Ludwig Kaiser because he's so flamboyant and he's so sassy, and he does such an incredible job about just drawing people into him because he's so over the top with his mannerisms, the way he sort of draws out his syllables when he speaks. And it's a lot of fun to watch. And more so than that, he's absolutely fantastic in the ring. He's been wrestling for a long, long time. I think when he was on the Indies, he was called like Axel Dieter Jr. or something like that. When he was wrestling over in whatever WXW, and you could really see that because when he is wrestling people, he is so head and shoulders above most people in terms of the way he carries himself in the ring, how he's able to effectively string a great match together. I think Ludwig Kaiser is absolutely fantastic. Um, it might be a little bit bold because there's a lot of great people still left on this list. I'm gonna put him at number 2. I absolutely love, love, love Ludwig Kaiser. I think he's so slept on. I think he's so underrated. So he is a number 2 pick for me. I might regret that later if we have just a string of absolute main event talent, but I think number 2 is a good spot for him. Randy. If we were looking at a career retrospective, Randy would be probably towards the bottom for me. I think that through large portions of his career, not great. But I think right now, in the past couple years, we are getting the best version of Randy Orton. So fun, has such a great connection with the crowd. I'm genuinely excited to watch a Randy Orton nowadays. Whereas in the past, he would be one of the people I'm most dreading to watch. Just because he really slow, not a very exciting style of wrestling, but he sort of found his niche now as the legacy babyface. I think he belongs at number 3. I can't put him at number 1 because he's still he can have great matches, but they're not as common as someone like a Ludwig Kaiser. And I feel his Orton's star power is obviously way bigger, and hearing him come out to voices and people sing along with him is great. But I'm just a total stan for Ludwig Kaiser, so I got to put him above Randy. Really, really great stuff from Randy Orton in the past couple of years, though. Really, really big fan of him. Next, we are looking at Chris Sabin. Um, my, I like Alex Shelley better in the machine guns. I think he's better as a singles guy. Chris Sabin is great. Or he was great when he was, in the X division in TNA in like the 2000s, even into the 2010s. I still think he really has his place as a tag wrestler, but I don't think he's going to go much, much further than that. And if the SmackDown tag division lived up to the hype that it is given with all the great teams they have on there, if the booking were a little bit stronger, I'd probably put him a little bit higher. I'm going to throw him at number 6. I think 6 is good for Sabin. Tag team wrestler in not a company that particularly values tag team wrestling, and I don't even think he is the standout member of his team. He is great, though. He is really he's really good. I don't know if I would say great. Chris Sabin in 2025 at least. He used to be great. LA Knight. I love LA Knight. I think he's slept on in the ring. Most people say, yeah, he's great on promos, he's a great talker, but he's not necessarily great in the ring. I think he is. I think he's really, really great in the ring. So I got number 1 and number 5 open. Do I put LA Knight at number 1? Or do I put him at number 5? I'm putting him at number 1. I think Knight is great. I've seen him have some absolutely great matches in the ring, and normally he's not put into that main event scene, so he can't have quite the tier of match that, Gunther, Cody, CM Punk can have. But when he is in the mid card and when he's given 10 or 15 minutes on a pay-per-view, he can really make something special. And he is a great talker. He's so entertaining to watch. He has this incredible connection with the crowd that even though I feel like the booking has really cooled down on him over the past couple years, like no one is talking about him being a WWE champion or a world title contender. I'm still enthralled when he comes out on TV, and I still want to know what LA Knight is doing every week. So I'll put him in number 1. I feel like based on the list that we have right now, that's fair. I might eat my words when we get Cody Rhodes in a second, but number 1's good for now. Ooh, Jacy Jayne. Okay. If Jacob Fatu came up, that'd be a little messy. I got 5 and 10 left. Man, I like Jacy a lot, especially in this current character of her being the champion no one expects to succeed. But she is just sort of all right in the ring. Last video, I left my number 10 position open, and I had to stick Finn Balor there, the person who I would eventually go on to say is the best. So I'm a little bit nervous about doing that again because I have the 5 and the 10 open right now. But Jacy Jayne isn't a number 10 wrestler. She's better than Lola Vice, better than Brutus Creed, probably on par with Grayson Waller, honestly, in my mind. I'm going to put her at 5. And once again, I'm going to make the mistake of leaving my 10 position open. I think Jacy's got a lot to her. She's really succeeding in her current role. And I think she's got a bright future ahead of her. Hopefully we get someone just awful. Apollo. You know what? Apollo at 10, I'm not going to cry about. Just because he's not on screen. Like, he's not wrestling. I don't know what they're doing with Apollo. When I was going through the WWE roster, I was honestly shocked that Apollo Crews was still a part of WWE. I thought for sure he had been released just because he's never there. He does have something to him. He is very, very good in the ring, very athletic, very fun, but he never has been presented like he should. If he were really presented as like a strong Intercontinental Championship contender, easily 4 or 5 on this list, but he's just not being presented properly. So at number 10, he goes. So let's look at our current list. We have Apollo Crews number 10, Lola Vice, Brutus Creed, Grayson Waller, Chris Sabin, Jacy Jayne at number 5, Javon Evans at 4, Randy Orton at 3, Ludwig Kaiser at 2, and LA Knight at 1. So that is the list for our blind ranking. Now we do change it around a little bit because we do want to find the best wrestler on this list to push into the finals to see who is going to be competing for the title of best wrestler in WWE. And honestly, I don't hate this list the way that it's laid out. Let's start with our bottom 5. Actually, let's start with our bottom 6 because I feel like Jacy, Jayne through Apollo Crews are in that bottom 6 position. I don't know if I would put Apollo that low, though. I feel like he's just not around that much. Honestly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch Apollo Crews and Lola Vice. So our 9 and 10 are going to swap. If Apollo was more consistently on TV, you know what? I'm going to keep Apollo at 10 because he's just not on TV. And Lola Vice is at least a consistent character on TV. I feel like Apollo has the ability to move higher than that, but for whatever reason, he's just not there. I'm actually happy with that 5 through 10. Jacy, Sabin, Grayson, Brutus, Vice, Apollo. We're going to leave that exactly as it is. Now let's look at our top 4. Javon Evans, Randy Orton, Ludwig, Kaiser, and LA Knight. Knight as the top, Ludwig behind him, Orton at 3. Most people would say Orton should probably be at the top of this list. I would disagree. I think that Randy Orton is fun, but not great. I don't think he's ever really been that great in his career. And maybe I'm just saying that because I have all this baggage from like the 2010s, late 2000s, where he just wasn't very good. And now he might be a little bit better, but I don't like him nearly as much as I do Ludwig, Kaiser, and LA Knight. You know, I'm honestly going to stick with this list. I think this is a pretty fair ranking to have LA Knight at number 1, Ludwig Kaiser at number 3, Randy Orton, or Ludwig Kaiser at number 2, Randy Orton at number 3, and Javon Evans at number 4. I like that a lot. That is where I am going to stick. So your winner for this video is LA Knight. He is going to move on to the finals with Finn Balor, where we are going to see who is truly the best wrestler in WWE in 2025. LA Knight is going on to the finals to join Finn Balor in the best wrestler search. We're going to have 11 other people joining them. So where will they ultimately rank on the overall list? One of them could be number 1. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Was it crazy that I put Randy Orton at number 3 below Ludwig Kaiser and LA Knight? Let me know down below. Was there someone else in the video who you think I slept on and who should have been way, way higher in this list? Let me know what your order would have been down in the comments below. And while you're there, like, subscribe, all that stuff that really, really, really does help a new channel like mine to grow. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Your support means absolutely everything to me and really helps a new channel like mine to grow. I have been Isaiah from Hot Tag Wrestling. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.